This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and greetings. I am Samia Mohammed and you're watching Pulse of Africa News. Join us for in-depth coverage of the stories influencing our region and beyond. Kenyan President William Ruto delivered a call to action at the 7th session of the United Nations Environmental Assembly in Nairobi, urging global leaders to turn commitments from COP30 into tangible outcomes. Ruto emphasized the need to address the triple planetary crisis, climate change, biodiversity loss and pollution, while ensuring the environmental action support equity and human dignity. He called on member states to back the United Nations Environment Programme with sufficient resources, particularly for nations balancing environmental responsibilities with poverty and limited fiscal space.
We convene, ladies and gentlemen, only days after the conclusion of COP30 in Belém, Brazil. It was a demanding negotiation and expectations were not fully met, but a tense global climate. Parties managed to keep multilateralism alive and send an unmistakable signal that the green transition is irreversible. Our task here in Nairobi is to translate these signals into concrete, actionable outcomes that address the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. For Africa, climate change is not an abstract debate. It is a daily experience.
Highlighting Africa's leadership in climate ambition, the president framed the continent not as a victim, but as a co-architect of global solutions. Ruto warned that without careful alignment, technological and economic transformation risk perpetuating old patterns of extraction, exclusion, and environmental harm. Ruto stressed that the assembly must define the environmental guardrails for a new era shaped by artificial intelligence, digital technologies, and electrification, ensuring that the green transition is both sustainable and inclusive. Italian President Sergio Mattarella welcomed Mozambique's President Daniel Francisco Chapo to the Quirinale Palace, emphasizing the strong cooperation and friendship between the two countries. Mattarella noted that Chapo's visit marking the 50th anniversary of the diplomatic relation provides further impetus to strengthen bilateral ties. Both leaders highlighted the importance of deepening diplomatic ties and collaboration on economic and social initiatives, reaffirming their commitment to fostering stronger partnership between Italy and Mozambique. President Chapo expressed appreciation for Italy's support in Mozambique's development programs, while President Mattarella emphasized Italy's readiness to enhance cooperation in areas such as infrastructure, education, and cultural exchange. The visit will conclude with the signing of legal cooperation agreements, further cementing diplomatic, economic, and cultural collaboration between Italy and Mozambique. President Chapo arrived in Rome Tuesday evening from Portugal for a 3-day working visit. Samia Yaba Christina Nkrumah, daughter of Ghana's first president and Pan-African icon Kwame Nkrumah, urged African nations to return to the original vision of continental unity, arguing that only collective development can deliver lasting prosperity. Speaking during her visit to Ethiopia's Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Nkrumah praised the project as a symbol of what Africans can achieve when they stand together. She said the dam embodies the determination and sacrifice of ordinary Ethiopians who contributed financially and morally to realize a dream many thought impossible. Nkrumah emphasized that Africa's first-generation independence leaders, including her father, believed deeply in coordinated continental development.
56 years ago, the fight was to defeat colonialism, settler colonialism, and apartheid. And you know why we managed to overcome these ills? Because we united. All countries helped each other. Today, we have a different fight. Today, our fight is to defeat poverty, unemployment, underdevelopment, economic domination, economic dependency on the outside world. So if Africa unites, if we unite, fuse our resources, human resources, mineral resources, natural resources, our capabilities, if we put them together to invent and build and create our industries, manufacturing, our infrastructure, more glorious projects like this, then we are going to go far.
Reflecting on Africa's past struggles, she noted that unity once enabled the continent to overcome colonialism, settler rule, and apartheid. But she warned that today's challenges are economic rather than political. She called unity the key to Africa's next chapter, expressing the aspiration for a big African nation, a superpower that will make sure that people have all what they need. GERD, she said, demonstrates the kind of continental-scale ambition Africa must embrace to transform its future. Nkrumah urged African leaders and citizens to revisit her father's teachings, especially his famous warning delivered in Ethiopia, "We must unite or perish." She stressed that true unity must be both political and economic, requiring continuous dialogue across cultures, languages, and traditions.
Many of you donated, contributed, and sacrificed. So that shows the spirit of determination, you know, and we commend you for that, and we are proud of that spirit. This is what we need to do, and we need to replicate this all over the continent. But as I said, it's my prayer that we work together, our different countries, to make more projects like this Renaissance Dam for the good of all the people of Africa.
In our African knowledge system, we talk and talk until we build consensus. She said, "We will never agree on everything, but we can find common ground for development." For today's generation, she believes the responsibility is clear: talk more, cooperate more, and work intentionally toward the dream set out 6 decades ago. The monochrome kaftan has officially been inscribed on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List, recognition of the country's centuries-old craftsmanship and cultural heritage. The announcement was made during a meeting of UNESCO's Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage in India. The Culture Minister of Morocco highlighted that the kaftan embodies exceptional technical and aesthetic skills, reflecting more than 8 centuries of evolution. Worn during key social and religious events, the garment is a symbol of national identity, artisanal mastery, and cultural pride. Authorities said the listing will strengthen efforts to preserve traditional techniques, protect the kaftan from cultural appropriation, and promote Morocco's cultural legacy globally. Now to business news. ECOWAS has appointed Nigerian industrialist Aliko Dangote as the inaugural chair of its new Business Council, a platform aimed at boosting private sector investment and supporting regional economic integration. ECOWAS Commission President Omar Touré announced the appointment at the opening of the 95th Council of Ministers session in Abuja, saying Dangote was chosen for his extensive business experience across West Africa and the continent. The council will facilitate dialogue between the private sector, governments, and ECOWAS institutions to advance economic development. Opening the session, Sierra Leone Leone's Foreign Minister Timothy Kaba urged stronger regional cooperation on security, economic and democratic challenges. Ministers are reviewing the 2026 budget financial reports and memoranda on monetary integration and resource mobilization for the regional anti-terrorism force. Mali's National Transitional Council has adopted the 2026 finance law, setting projected expenditure at 3.578 trillion FCFA and revenue at 3.58 trillion FCFA. Minister of Economy and Finance Alusini Sanao said the budget gives a predominant place to priority sectors, security, education and health, and incorporates ongoing reforms to support Mali's development and security goals in 2026. The Ministry of Finance has also launched a new 312 billion FCFA plan to settle domestic debt. This follows a first 200 billion FCFA repayment package introduced in October 2024. As a result, Mali's domestic debt has dropped from nearly 600 billion FCFA in mid-2024 to about 454 billion FCFA by mid-2025. Authorities reaffirmed their commitment to honoring state obligations, improving business cash flow, and preserving economic stability. Moving to sports news. Comoros will compete at the African Cup of National Finals in Morocco with a squad composed predominantly of foreign-based players. The team, led by coach Stefano Kazin, includes players from the Comorian diaspora in France and features veteran striker El Fadou Ben Nabouhan. Comoros is gearing up for the African Cup of National Finals in Morocco with a squad predominantly composed of foreign-based players. On Wednesday, coach Stefano Kazin announced the 26-man lineup that includes several uncapped players such as Amir Zaid and Kari Yanis, both active in the fourth tier of French football. The majority of the squad has roots in the Comorian diaspora in France, reflecting the island nation's reliance on its experienced community for sporting talent. As the smallest nation in the 24-team tournament, Comoros will face off against host Morocco in the opening match on December 21st in Rabat, with subsequent games against Mali and Zambia. This year's tournament marks Comoros' second appearance at the Cup of Nations. Let's review the latest forecast and see what weather conditions are anticipated throughout the region. That's all from Pulse of Africa News for the hour, and thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more updates from Africa.
El Dorado, a land of wealth, a future of limitless possibilities. This is El Dorado. From natural rich to groundbreaking innovations, discover Africa's untapped potential. El Dorado, unveiling Africa's global potential.
Have you ever wondered what lies behind the sleek design of your smartphone or the powerful engine of your electric car? These everyday marvels of technology are not just products of innovation and engineering. They are built from minerals, the hidden treasures of our planet. From the cobalt that powers rechargeable batteries to the rare earth elements that make touch screens responsive, minerals are the foundation of modern life. But where do these vital resources come from? Much of the world's mineral wealth is deposited in Africa, a continent blessed with extraordinary abundance beneath its soil. Gold, diamonds, copper, cobalt, lithium, and countless other minerals lie waiting, shaping global industries and fueling technological progress. Yet the pressing question remains, is Africa truly harnessing and benefiting from its immense mineral potential, or are these riches slipping away to others? Hello and welcome to El Dorado. Tonight, we uncover the untold narrative of how these resources are transforming economies, influencing geopolitics, and redefining the continent's role in the global arena. Stay tuned as we explore the opportunities, challenges, and future of Africa's mineral world, because the story of minerals is not just about what powers our devices, but about the destiny of nations.